The sun rises and sets over this canopy in a rhythm that has remained constant for millions of years. Before the first samurai appeared in the historical record, some of these trees had already lived through centuries of growth. Throughout most of human history, the expansion of civilization has resulted in the clearing and logging of wild forests to provide room and resources for growth. But on the island of Yakushima, a vast section of the interior remains preserved, sheltering trees that have stood for over a millennium. The survival of these forests is the result of a specific set of physical and social conditions that began at the shoreline. The constant moisture covers nearly every rock and branch in a thick layer of moss, making the steep terrain increasingly treacherous to navigate on foot. Rivers cut through deep ravines, and the density of the undergrowth creates a natural barrier that restricted most human industry to the coastal fringes. For centuries, the most valuable timber in the interior remained physically unreachable, protected by the vertical stone and the relentless weather. Climbing from the coast to the peaks is a journey through distinct climate zones, transitioning from subtropical humidity to cool mountain air. These temperature variations allow different species to thrive in distinct layers, shielded from mainland competition. Within these zones, animals have adapted to the specific conditions of the island over generations. Local macaques forage through the canopy, largely undisturbed by the predators or competitors found in the forests of the northern islands. On the forest floor, Yakushima deer graze in the openings, part of a self-regulating system that has functioned for thousands of years. The island's distance from the mainland allowed these species to develop in an isolated space, where the biological rhythms of the forest were rarely interrupted by outside forces. When people did eventually establish a presence on the island, their relationship with the high-altitude forests was not defined by extraction. They encountered the yakusugi, cedar trees that grow slowly in the nutrient-poor granite soil, reaching massive sizes over the course of centuries. The most significant of these is the jomonsugi, a tree with a lineage stretching back thousands of years. It has weathered thousands of typhoon seasons and earthquakes, its gnarled trunk serving as a record of environmental shifts since it first took root. The presence of these giants shaped the local culture, leading to spiritual traditions and legends that prioritized the preservation of the trees over their value as lumber. By treating the forest as a site of spiritual significance, the local communities ensured that the oldest cedars remained standing, even as the rest of the country modernized. The localized systems of protection that kept the forest standing were formally recognized on a global scale in 1993. Yakushima was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site, establishing international legal standards to maintain the integrity of its ecosystems. Modern management now restricts access and enforces rules for hikers, ensuring that visitors do not disrupt the soil or the growth of the ancient cedars. In an era where old-growth forests are becoming increasingly rare, the island serves as a reminder of what happens when a landscape is allowed to grow on its own timeline. These cedars will likely continue to grow long after the people who walk beneath them today are gone. Yakushima demonstrates that when human values respect physical and biological boundaries, a forest can endure for thousands of years.